recent times, the command was confronted with reported cases of kidnapping, armed robbery, and cultism. We rejigged the security strategy with a special focus on tackling kidnapping and armed robbery. The strategy has paid off with the recent arrest of members of a notorious kidnapping gang by operatives of Operation Restore Peace. This gang has been responsible for over 10 high-profile kidnapping in Bayelsa State over a period of 7 years.
My name is Emmanuel Southangasi. For sometime, I think last year, we did a kidnapping. Though I was not the head, I was not the one that even brought the job, but I happens to be the driver.
John Ewa, John Lions. I'm from Cross River State, precisely.
Which community?
Sorry, I was not on my door. I'm from Burkina government. Yes, sir. So I was actually involved in this thing. I was actually involved in the kidnapping that of Achieve and Danjuma. I was not aware of the initial. I was not aware of his kidnapping. I was told they have a business together that I should just tell them where he's staying. Yes, sir.
So you are the one who told them where
Yes, sir.
Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode from Legal Connect. Today on Legal Connect, I decided to look at yet again into the affairs of the Nigerian police, having seen this case of John Lion and Associate has been trending social media. There has been a lot of comments, a lot of personal opinions, and also even from the Nigerian police. As always on this space, is always about the law rather than sentiment. Today, we are going to be looking at the behavior of the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police, especially the one in Bayelsa, in regards to this particular case, has been parading Mr. John Lion and Associate as accusing them of a series of kidnapping within the state and beyond. And having seen all the comments trending of the videos that the Nigerian police have put out onto social media, I asked myself, is this lawful act being conducted by the Nigerian police? So first of all, we are going to look at the offense of kidnapping before we look into the behavior of the Nigerian police. Before I go into today's discussion, I just want to encourage you to please like or drop your comments, subscribe to this channel. Kidnapping is provided for under Section 364. Section 364 of the Nigerian Criminal Code reads, any person who unlawfully imprisons any person or takes him out of Nigeria without his consent, or unlawfully imprisons any person within Nigeria in such a manner as to prevent him from applying to a court for his release, or from discovering to any other person the place where he is imprisoned, or in such a manner as to prevent any person entitled to have access to him from discovering the place where he is imprisoned, is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 10 years. And then let's read section 365. Any person who unlawfully confines or detains another in any place against his will or otherwise unlawfully deprives another of his personal liberty is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 2 years. So, in this current case, I presume, because I don't know what the charges the Nigerian police are going to bring against these individuals, but I assume that one of those charges is going to be kidnapping. And this is the law on kidnapping. And then, if we go to the Constitution and look at the provisions of the Constitution under Section 36 of the Nigerian Constitution, I'm going to read Section 36, subsection 5 and subsection 6 and see what that part of the Constitution provides for. The Section 36 is part of the fundamental right that every Nigerian has. And Section 36, subsection 5 states, any person who is charged with a criminal offense shall be presumed to be innocent until he is proven guilty, provided that nothing in this section shall invalidate any law by reason only that the law imposes upon any such person the burden of proving particular facts. Any person who is charged with a criminal offense shall be entitled to subsection 6a, be informed promptly in the language that he understands and in details of the nature of the offense. Be given adequate time and facilities for the preparation of his defense. Defend himself in person or by legal practitioners of his own choice. Examine a person or by his legal practitioner the witness is called by the prosecution before any court or tribunal, and obtain the attendance and carry out the examination of witnesses to testify on his behalf before the court or tribunal on the same condition as those applied to the witness called by the prosecution. And have without payment the assistance of an interpreter if he cannot understand the language used at the trial of the offense. Okay, let's proceed on. Let's look at Section 34 of the same Nigerian Constitution 1999. And with Section 34, I'm going to read subsection 1. Section 34, subsection 1 reads, every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly, no person shall be subject to torture or to inhuman or degrading treatment. No person shall be held in slavery or servitude, and no person shall be required to perform force of compulsory labor. I still have one more act to read from, Section 37 of the Police Act 2020, and I'm going to read that. Section 37 of the Police Act 2020 reads, a suspect shall be accorded humane treatment, having regard to his right to the dignity of his person, and not to subject to any form of torture, cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. Okay. Having read all these sections of the law, first of all, John Lyon and Associates, by the provisions of the Constitution, are innocent until proven guilty. So they are alleged suspects, thanks to the police officer who confirmed that these are alleged suspects, or these are suspects. So the question is, why are they being paraded as if they are criminals or they've been convicted of the offense? Secondly, the Constitution and the Police Act 2020 provides that suspects shall be accorded humane treatment. Looking at the video in front of us at the moment, where Mr. John Lyon has been stripped to his underpants or underwear, in my opinion, I would say this is inhumane treatment and this is degrading, given the fact that he's been exposed and paraded to the public as a kidnapper or even alleged kidnapper. The work of the police is to maintain peace, prosecute those that have committed offense, and according to the law which is provided for within the Police Act 2020, they are supposed to transfer this matter, even with regards to the Constitution as well. They are supposed to transfer the matter to the public prosecutor, or if there are police prosecutors, accord these suspects legal representatives, rather than subjecting them to questioning in public. In my opinion, the police are contaminating the evidence by these actions. If we look at the offense of Section 364, let's look at subsection 1, which provides that any person who unlawfully imprisoned any person and takes him out of Nigeria without his consent is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 10 years. That is a single offense, that is taking someone in prison and taking them out of Nigeria. In order for this offense to be satisfied, or the ingredients of the offense to be satisfied, the police has to prove that a person, not an animal, a person was imprisoned and the imprisonment was unlawful and that person was taken out of Nigeria without their consent. So if a person was unlawfully imprisoned and taken out of Nigeria with their consent, then anybody charged with Section 364 subsection 1 is not guilty of the offense, because the imprisoned person was taken out with their consent. They have to be taken out of Nigeria without their consent. So there are ingredients that needs to be proved. And the same thing with this offense, or whatever charge that the police are going to be brought against these suspects. They have to prove every ingredient of that charge. Now, putting these suspects before the public, in my opinion, it's unlawful, because there is no provisions within the Constitution or within the police power allowing the police to do what they are doing. By putting this suspect before the media, the journalists, and subjecting them to being questioned. Like I said, the police are contaminating their own evidence by what they are doing. They are presumed to be innocent according to the law until proven guilty, not found them guilty by public prosecution and then now take them to court to prove your case. And also, the police are not supposed to subject these suspects to degrading treatment, as we've read from the Constitution and even the Police Act 2020. But if you look at what is being done to John Lyon, in my opinion, this is degrading. When it comes to a prosecution in court, the suspects don't have any duty or responsibility to prove that they are innocent. The police the public prosecution have to prove beyond reasonable doubt. That is, that the judge or magistrate is sure that these suspects are guilty of the offense by proving the different ingredients, the different elements to the offense. Like I explained, that in order to prove offense against liberty, if it is a subsection 1 offense, every ingredient of that offense must be proved, must be proved before a person is found guilty. And then if you look at the video, you see that a police officer who's supposed to be trained in the art of dealing with suspects is actually having a debate, having an argument with one of the suspects, alleging which fact is accurate, whether his fact is accurate or the facts of the suspect. That is not how to go about investigating the offense. If you want to question the suspect, you should read him his right and then question him under caution, not at a car park having a debate as to which fact is accurate. All these are all emotions. The police are not supposed to deal with issues with their own emotions. They're supposed to be professional. They're supposed to act professionally. Take away your sentiment, take away your personal opinion, and deal with the matter or with the issue according to the provisions of the law. Back then at the law school, we were taught that it is justifiable for 5 criminals to be found not guilty than for 1 innocent person to be imprisoned. What I expect the police to do is really to carry out a proper investigation of this matter and take this matter to court and prove their case that these suspects are guilty of the charges. Because you don't want to imprison an innocent person. You don't want to disgrace an innocent person. Rather, you want to make sure that your case is watertight. You don't subject the suspect to a public scrutiny, a journalist interviewing them of the alleged offense that they've committed. Rather, allow them to have their legal advice by having a legal representation, and then question them under caution. If there are enough evidence to take them to court, charge them, and if it is a bailable offense, you set them out on bail. Otherwise, you keep them in detention if you have the power to do that, or seek the court's approval for you to continue to detain them. You don't take the laws into your hands, as in my opinion, what the police is doing. It is not just on this matter alone. It is a norm for police officers to parade people as suspects rather than carry out proper investigation. They parade these people as suspects. There are even cases whereby innocent people are paraded as suspects. I think the police need to change and try to abide by the laws in order to gain respect from the public. They need to work with the public. It is not the public versus the police or the police versus the public. Rather, the community work in hand with the police. I will encourage you to like this program, provide your comments. If you feel that my analysis are totally wrong, provide your comments. Subscribe so that we can, engage, and you can get more of updated videos from this space. Subscribe to this space, and so that you get regular notification of new videos. And I just want us to be able to make an impact in the society, enlightening the public of their rights, and also encouraging the police to be accountable. I hope you've enjoyed this analysis. However, if you feel that my analysis is wrong and there is actually a provisions within the Constitution, within the police act, within the police power for them to parading suspects, subjecting them to public scrutiny, even subjecting them to degrading treatment, then feel free to post your comment, those areas of law that justifies the police action, and then we'll look at it again in subsequent episode. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I want you to like or dislike, bring your comments, and more so subscribe to this space so that we can have effective and informed discussion going forward. Take care now. Bye-bye.